Hey guys, I got with the picks here. I told you at the beginning of the week, we're going to have a big week this week. That I have a bunch of games lined up that we're going to capitalize on. And up to this point, that's exactly what's happening. Last night, I gave 2 games out, one in the World Series, being the Houston Astros, which they beat the hell out of the Braves, winner. And I gave the Charlotte Hornets minus the 5.5. And that was another winner. So on the week so far, we are 4-1. And we're definitely playing with what I love playing the most, house money. Tonight, we will not be going to the NFL side of the sports book. There's a lot of COVID stuff going on. Players not playing. People coming off the IR that can be wide receiver 1 for Green Bay. There's just a lot of stuff going on in that game. And I'm not confident to touch it. It'd be more of a guessing game than anything. And I'd much rather give you guys an edge in a game than just guessing a game. I will not do that. But tonight we're going to East Carolina University, where South Florida will be traveling there. South Florida comes in with a 2-5 record. East Carolina has a 3-4 record. This line opened up at 7.5. Right now, this line opens up at 10. The total opened up at 57.5. The total sits at 56.5. Now, USF last week is coming off a matchup versus Temple where USF won by 20. They won 34-14. South Florida was given 1.5 points in that game. Now listen, you got to hear this. South Florida ran the ball 73 times. Hold on, I don't believe it. Let me say it again. They ran the ball 73 times. For 421 yards and 3 touchdowns. And they held the ball for over 44 minutes of the game. So they had the ball for 44 minutes, and Temple got the ball for 16. That don't sound too fair, and it wasn't. That led to a 20-point victory. In that game, I'm not going to talk about the quarterback because he ain't do nothing. I ain't going to talk about the receiver because they didn't do nothing. The guys that did stuff was their lead back, Mangum. He had 26 carries for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. Joyner chipped in with 14 carries for 126 yards and a touchdown. And Batty came along with 12 carries for 77 yards. They carved that team up. Their defense had 1 sack and 2 interceptions. This USF team, they average 22 points a game, and they give up 32 points a game. But I really think in their last couple games, they have found their identity. They know what works for them the best is not throwing on first and second down, it's running. And it seems like that trend is continuing with South Florida for the past couple games. Now, on the other side of the ball, we got Eastern Carolina. They traveled to Houston last week, and they were getting 13.5 points. And they lost in overtime, 31-24. And it was a hell of a game. This ECU team, they held Houston to 0 points in the second half. They held them scoreless in the second half. And they took them to overtime, and they gave up a touchdown in the overtime. and East Carolina was very, very impressive in this game. They held Houston to 278 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's all. Wrap your head around that. 278 and 2 touchdowns. That's all they gave up. Very impressive. The team ran for 82 yards and a touchdown. Snead, he had 7 grabs for 114 yards. And Hatfield had 2 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. The defense, they had 5 sacks and they recovered 1 fumble. This team averages 29 points a game and they give up 28 points a game. The last 3 games have gone under the total. And 5 out of the 7 USF games on the year have gone under. We will see rain tonight. We will see rain tonight in Greenville, North Carolina. It will be raining. And by the looks of it, it's going to be steady through the whole game. That's what the weather is reading at 9:30 in the morning for kickoff at 7, 8, 9, and 10 o'clock. A steady rain the whole time. What I see in this game is I see a team that runs the ball consistently the whole game. And even when they're not getting first downs or they only get 1 first down and they punt, they are chewing up clock. There are no, you'll see teams go 3 and out, 3 plays, no yards in 21 seconds. Well, with South Florida, you'll see 3 plays, 9 yards, punt, 2 minutes and 20 seconds taken off the clock. In those minutes and second differentials, those mean a ton in a football game. It means the difference between possessions and games going over and under. On the ECU side, they like to throw the ball. And they like to hit with quick strikes. They do. They like fast touchdowns. They like to move the ball. They like to keep momentum going. I think last week in the Houston game, it showed that even when ECU isn't throwing for a ton of yards, they are still they're still good enough to play with a very, very good team in Houston. And I think that'll run over this week also. I think the rain will hamper the passing game a little bit for ECU. I do think that they're going to have to rely on their running backs a little bit more. Or they'll be throwing extended handoffs. They'll be throwing the ball 1 yard outs and going up. I do think the weather will hamper East Carolina's offense. I think it'll hamper it enough that they won't be moving at as quick a pace as they normally do. And when that happens, obviously, possessions get lower, time management gets better, and we get lower scores in games. So what I see in this game is I see a grind-out game. I do. I see each possession being vital in this game. I really think that we're going to see 2 defenses show some good work tonight. The pick tonight, obviously, is take under 56.5 in the South Florida Eastern Carolina game tonight. Guys, I want to thank you for the likes, comments, subscribes, and shares. Thank you. I ask that you please continue to do that. As soon as we hit 500 subscribers, and I'm hoping we get there here pretty soon, we are going to make a live bet for one of the subscribers at the sports book. And I think we are going to go live that day and watch the game with you guys. Yeah, good stuff. The rest of the week is going to be big. It's going to be big. I'm also going to be releasing an NBA game tonight also. I have another game in the NBA that I love tonight. I see another night of 2-0. You guys jump on this. We're on fire. We ain't getting put out. You know what we're going to do. We're going to get back to getting this cash.